You're listening to the Outer Banks This Week podcast, a place for people to hear what's going on up and down the beach and get the truth about what really goes on around the Outer Banks. So, here we go.
All right. Thank you so very much, Lexi. Outer Banks This Week podcast, episode number 62, all brought to you by Kelly's Automotive in Manteo. I was looking at their website a little earlier. They got a lot of great vehicles in inventory online at kellysobxauto.com. Also got sheds there available for purchase as well. They will set them up. And that's the thing. It's like people they buy the shed and they're like, well, then what? I bought the shed. Is it my responsibility to get it there? No. They will schedule a delivery for you, and they'll set it up wherever you would like. Absolutely awesome service that they offer right now over at Kelly's Automotive in Manteo. Again, you can find out all this information online at kellysobxauto.com. We are 62 episodes deep into the podcast. Man, let me tell you something. Last weekend, my wife and I took our oldest son, Austin, and we went to Atlanta for the weekend to see the Braves play the Cleveland Guardians. It was a great series. Braves came out on top 3-2. And I'll tell you what, it was a long weekend. We left at like 1 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning, got there at 9 a.m., or excuse me, about 9:30-ish or so Saturday morning. And it just, I don't know that I would want to do it like that again. Had a lot of fun. The games were fun, going and doing some of the activities. They were fun. But as far as how much of a whirlwind trip it was, it felt like we had just gotten there when we were turning around to leave at 4:30 on Monday morning to come back. So it was a good time, though. Always enjoy going to Atlanta. Love the city of Atlanta. Lots of fun people, nice people in Atlanta. Probably one of my favorite places in the United States. Just throwing that out there. So if you listen and you're from Atlanta, hey, love your city. Great place. Hey, it's May. It's gonna be May. Everybody goes back to that. Was that Justin Timberlake song where it's like, it's gotta be me. Well, it's gonna be May. I used to hear that all the time when I was in the radio world. But hey, exciting things on the horizon here on the Outer Banks for this summer. The year 2024 has been very good so far. Looking forward to a lot of exciting things. I've been in good conversations with a lot of people. Really excited about what's going to happen this summer with like Music Fest and with all the different acts that are coming here locally, all the fun activities, and just all the fun people that I'm going to get to hang out with this summer. I'm really looking forward to it. And May is looking like it's going to shape up to be a great month here on the Outer Banks. Really excited about what's to come. And I'll talk more about some of the things that are going to be happening during the month of May in the events section of the podcast. Coming in just a few moments, we're going to welcome Miss Alexandra Nolte, okay, from Roanoke Island Fitness Lab. I had an email a while back asking us to discuss things that you can do to stay fit, to stay active, to work out, to exercise while here on the Outer Banks. Places you can go, different activities you can participate in, whether it be at an actual facility that we have here, or if you just want to do something on your own in your beach home or outside. Miss Alexandra Nolte, I'm going to call her Alex, from the Roanoke Island Fitness Lab, is going to come in and talk about some of that because she is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to exercising and working out. She's a pro CrossFitter. She's in great shape, and she can tell you what you can do, and maybe even some places where you can go to get some organic meals, or is that the right way to say it? I can think of one place off the top of my head, but I'm going to let her share a little bit more about that. So yeah, we'll have her in just a little bit. News, there's nothing really newsworthy jumping out at me. I do want to say this, though. I have gotten some emails and text messages and Facebook messages lately from locals here on the Outer Banks to discuss some somewhat controversial topics, okay? I'm not going to go there. I can't go there, okay? I'm not going to do it because it's just not my platform. It's not the platform I'm here. I'm here for having fun, enjoying life here on the Outer Banks for the locals and the visitors alike. So if you got something that's going to be kind of controversial that you want me to talk about, I can't do it. It's just not going to happen. I share some of the feelings that a lot of people have about some of these local topics that have been coming up here lately, but this is not the place for it. It's just not. Maybe I'll start another podcast of Outer Banks happenings and the locals can sound off on it. We'll see. I'll run that by the bosses and see what they think. But for right now, that's just not my platform. So I do apologize. But I will say that if you're looking for local news, the best source out there, Sam Walker, Grand Slam Sam Walker. He is the answer, as I like to call him here on the Outer Banks when it comes to news. And you can visit him online at samwalkerobxnews.com. Make sure to check out the Sam and M podcast that he has with his wife. Fantastic podcast. Love listening to it. I am behind. I've been so stinking busy here lately. I haven't even been able to catch up with my own podcast. But I encourage you to go over and take a listen. They're fantastic folks. Like, subscribe, all those fun things to his show. And make sure you go and subscribe to his emails and everything like that. Sam Walker, obxnews.com. I want to recap episode number 61. We want to thank Michael and Aaron from ELSOBX for coming in and hanging out with us. Definitely, if you are in the market for getting some rewiring done at your house, any electrical work needing to be done, get up with them at ELSOBX, online at ELSOBX.com. First-class individuals, definitely making a huge impact on this community, and we're thankful to have them. Michael and Aaron, ELSOBX, thank you guys for coming in and hanging out with me. And a lot of people got a lot of good feedback from that podcast, so thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Captain Marty, oh, Captain, my Captain. That's another person I'm very thankful for is Captain Marty today. Captain Marty, he's kept me really busy. I'm not even going to lie. Since we brought Captain Marty on to work with us here at Outer Banks this week, I have been going nonstop. Feel like I'm calling, texting, emailing, getting sponsors for his fishing reports and the Captain Marty Fishing Guide, which will be out probably either by the end of the month or the first part of June. So you'll be able to find the Captain Marty Fishing Guide up and down the beach at all your tackle shops, your fishing piers, the visitors bureaus, all different spots. You can think fishing will take place. That's where you'll find the Captain Marty Fishing Guide. And of course, you can listen to all of his fishing reports online at outerbanksthisweek.com or on all of your major podcast platforms. So you can listen to him there as well. 5 days a week, we're doing fishing reports. And on Saturdays, we're actually releasing some of the stories that he's been telling here lately. Things that he did. They called it The Other Side of Fishing at one point. And these are all stories that he experienced and things that he witnessed while being a charter captain in the fleet. And he's got a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of stories. So we're excited to have Captain Marty here. And we encourage you to go on and listen to him online. outerbanksthisweek.com is where you can find his fishing reports, and also on all your major podcast platforms. We're actually going to start navigating in the very near future. Once we send the fishing guide off to get printed, we're going to start trying to figure out how we can have the Captain Marty Show and do a podcast weekly with Captain Marty to go on top of his fishing reports. So we're going to work on the Captain Marty Show in the near future as well. We're going to maybe call it the Captain Marty Files. I don't know. We got to come up with a good, catchy name for it. If you can think of a good name to call it, email me, podcast@outerbanksthisweek.com, of a good, catchy name for Captain Marty's big show that we're going to start doing with him. Okay? We're going to figure that out. I need y'all's help with that. Podcast@outerbanksthisweek.com. Coming up, we're going to jump into some shout-outs. But before we do that, we're going to check in with the realest of the real over at Outland Seafood in Mans Harbor, where Troy Outland, Curtis, Josh, they're real, and they got that real, fresh, local seafood. Real. That's the first word that comes to mind when I think about Outland Seafood in Mans Harbor. Yeah, they're the first and last place you see coming to and leaving the Outer Banks on Highway 64 in Dare County, but they're also real when it comes to fresh, local seafood. Troy Outland, real. Curtis and Josh, real. The indoor crab shedders, real. Stop by and see for yourself right next to White Shopping Center and check them out on social media. Outland Seafood in Mans Harbor. Real. That's right. Real. That's the only way to describe them over at Outland Seafood in Mans Harbor, right next to White Shopping Center. And I'll tell you what, first-class people all the way. Love them very much at Outland Seafood. All right, let's jump into some shout-outs. I got just a couple that I want to shout out to, but I do want to tell you again, if you're a listener of the podcast, let me know. I'd love to give you a shout-out. Podcast@outerbanksthisweek.com. Podcast@outerbanksthisweek.com, and I will gladly put you on my shout-out list. Love it when I can interact with my listeners Always enjoy talking to you guys. Always enjoy. If you email me, I will email you back. It might take me a day or two because I am busy, but I will email you back, and I promise I will get you on my shout-out list at podcast@outerbanksthisweek.com. I want to start out with a shout-out to my friend Sarah Woodley and the Island School of Dance. They've got their big production going on this week, Hometown Glory, and she's been working really hard on it. She's one of the instructors over at Roanoke Island Fitness Lab, where I'm also an instructor and I exercise, and she's just a super sweet person, super sweet family, and I know she's been working really hard. She and Sarah Hollis, who is also one of the instructors at Roanoke Island Fitness Lab, she's one of the dance teachers over there, along with others, and I know they've been working extremely hard in their big production this week. So what do you say, break a leg? If you're dancing, I don't know that you want anybody to tell you to break a leg. I know that when you're acting, it's like, hey, break a leg. That's like the, good luck way of saying good luck in acting. But what would you say to a dancer at like a dance recital? I don't know that I would want to tell them to break a leg because I just don't think that sounds good. Not for somebody that's dancing that uses their legs to dance. I just don't think that's right. I'll have to ask her. But anyway, best of luck. I know y'all are going to do great. Everyone at the Island School of Dance. Sarah, great job coordinating all of this and doing all the choreography and the music and everything like that. She is a very detailed individual, and I know it's going to be great. So shout out to them. And my man Adam Dye. Love me some Adam. I'll tell you what. There's in the radio world, we call them P1 listeners. P1 listeners are those that listen every day, no matter what. And Mr. Adam is a P1 listener. Every time a podcast comes out, he's listening and he's texting me. And he's telling me, I know he listens because he gives me little tidbits of information and things. He talks about the podcast. So, Mr. Adam, I can't thank you enough for being such a supporter of the podcast, bro. And he wanted to shout out to all the farmers markets down to Highway 168, 158, like Morris Farm, Grandy Greenhouse. There's a bunch of them. Powell's, I believe. There's another one. I'm probably forgetting some of them. I know he texted them to me, but I don't have my phone in front of me right now. But if you are one of the farmers markets on Highway 168, 158 through Currituck County, my man Adam wants to tip his cap to you guys for being just fantastic people with great vegetables and just good old down-home hospitality. So thank you for making people that come down here to live in our piece of paradise for a little while, making them feel welcome on their way here. So that's a shout out to all the farmers markets down to Highway 168, 158 through Currituck County. All right, coming up, got Miss Alexandra Nolte. I'm going to call her Alex because that's just what I call her for short. She's going to be coming in here in just a few moments, talk a little bit about fitness activities you can do on the Outer Banks to stay active and exercising, maybe a little bit about Roanoke Island Fitness Lab, and other things. So she'll be in here in just a moment. But first, let's take a little tour. Harbor Star Dolphin Tours down at Juan Cheese Marina.
What could possibly be more fun than watching a bottlenose dolphin swim and play in the water right beside you? Hop aboard Harbor Star Dolphin Tours at Juan Cheese Marina and witness this remarkable animal up close. The Harbor Star is a spacious 50-foot vessel with a wide, shady canopy that runs 2-hour trips multiple times a day, including a breathtaking sunset cruise. To book your tour, go online to juancheesemarina.com and click Harbor Star Dolphin Tours. See the majestic bottlenose dolphin up close with Harbor Star Dolphin Tours.
All right, as promised, and I feel like I always lead into these segments that way, I have Miss Alex Nolte here from Roanoke Island Fitness Lab. Glad to have her in here. I've been knowing Alex for, about 10 years now or so?
Yeah, a long time.
It's been a while, and she is one of the instructors, directors at Roanoke Island Fitness Lab, and she's here to talk to us a little bit about things you can do around the Outer Banks to stay active, exercising, fit while on vacation. Alex, welcome.
Thanks. Happy to be here. I appreciate you having me.
Well, talk to me a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how you got to where you are today, because you got a great story.
Yeah, sure. So I'm a CrossFit athlete and a full-time coach at Roanoke Island Fitness Lab. And yeah, it's been a long journey to get here. So I grew up on the Outer Banks, was a high school athlete. I played basketball and softball. And then, like a lot of students, I went to college and kind of lost my identity as an athlete. So through college and grad school, I was still sort of active, still sort of in the weight room, practiced yoga, but I didn't really have that identity as an athlete anymore. And then when I moved back to the Outer Banks in 2020, COVID had just started. I had just quit drinking and found sobriety in my life, and I started to dabble in fitness. So during COVID was an interesting time to do that. But my journey's led me here. Now I'm a full-time coach and an athlete again. So it's been a really awesome journey.
That's really cool. You talk about how you rediscovered, being an athlete again or whatnot during COVID. That's kind of what I did too, in all honesty. I remember I weighed in for an arm wrestling tournament in 2019, and I got on a scale, and I was 300 plus. And I was like, the heck happened to me? I was like, this is not, no. And it was right around like Thanksgiving. I was like, I'm not ready to not eat right now, because it's eating holiday. So I was like, we'll ride this wave into New Year's. And then starting January 1, I'm changing some things. And that's when I started exercising again. And I found R.I.F.L in the fall of that year.
Yeah, early days of the gym being open. You're one of the OGs of the gym.
Well, I'm not an OG, but I had seen so many different advertisements from people like, friends of ours, like Micah Daniels was one of them, Makani Peel, a few people that I'd followed on social media, pictures of him at the gym. And I finally went to him. I was like, what is this Roanoke Island? What is this Roanoke CrossFit? They're like, you mean R.I.F.L? I'm like, yeah, R.I.F.L. That's what I meant. Yeah, R.I.F.L. And they were like, man, it's the greatest thing ever. So they kept telling me about it and kept pushing me to go. And I was like, you know what? I'm going. And I walked in on, was it August 31st, 2020, and signed up. And September 1st, Justin Langley was my first instructor. Yeah, nice. It was fun. So anyway, and I got hooked on it that day. And I was like, I got to go back and do this. This is awesome. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a great journey. Enjoy it.
And I've had a similar experience. So like a lot of people, I just started in a home gym, especially during COVID when we were home more. I was just working out at home. And I kind of knew what I was doing a little bit, right? But I didn't have the guidance of a coach or a community to support me. And then one of our trainers now, who's still at R.I.F.L, Shannon, she told me about the gym and brought me in, and I was hooked from then on out. And I think part of it too, and a large part of fitness, and something we can talk about relative to the Outer Banks specifically, is the community we have here in fitness. Mm-hmm. And I think that makes a huge difference. For me, I went from someone who walked in like you did, not really knowing what CrossFit was or what to expect, to a member going 5 days a week, to a part-time coach, to now I'm a full-time coach. So the community really makes a big difference.
Well, watching you climb that ladder, because I remember when you first showed up, and then you were just coming here and there and whatnot. Then you were 5 days a week. The next thing you know, you're teaching, and just watching you climb has been really cool to watch. So
Thanks.
You're doing good. You're doing great, as a matter of fact. Let's say good. That. You're great. So R.I.F.L, that's right here in Manteo. It's right across from, what is it, Hotel Manteo now,
Hotel
we could
Manteo.
say?
Yep.
And just kind of in front of the high school right there on Highway 64. Let's talk a little bit about R.I.F.L real quick. It is Roanoke Island Fitness Lab. We call it R.I.F.L because of the acronym, just so you know. What types of things can we do at R.I.F.L as to go and do CrossFit? What else? What other stuff do we do?
Yeah, so one of the things that makes us unique, especially as a CrossFit gym, is all the classes we offer, right? So we have several different types of classes. We offer HIIT style classes, spin classes. We have a class called Sweat that combines HIIT and spin movements, as well as some running, other monostructural movements like rowing and biking. We also now offer a yoga class, which has been really successful. It's something the community really needed. So we saw an opportunity there. We have a brand new cycle studio, which opened up a space for us to practice yoga. And that took me back to my roots a little bit too. I've been teaching yoga for over 5 years. So that was really cool to incorporate. We have a class called Functional.
Yes, Functional.
Yes. Winnie Bachman coaches that, and she does an excellent job. It's a lot of seniors in that class, and it keeps people moving. And it's really a class for everyone. But we have a lot of different options for a lot of different people. I think going back to community, a really important aspect of that is that there's something for everyone. So that's one thing we really try to do at R.I.F.L is have something for everyone.
And that's the amazing thing. And I mean, I remember a friend of mine who recently joined, I say recently, last year, Captain Marty. He was a little apprehensive about it in the beginning and everything, but I told him, I said, Marty, the one thing you're going to experience here is family. The one thing you're going to experience here is how much we all are cheerleaders for the other person, how much we encourage each other and build each other up. You're not going to have anybody in there that's going to tear you down or make you feel inadequate or not good enough or anything like that. And he was, like I said, he was a little apprehensive about going in the beginning, but now he's like, Justin, I want to be a spokesperson for them and all this other fun stuff. So, I mean, watching, Marty and how he's transformed and how he's really enjoyed being there is one of many testimonies.
Right. Marty is the perfect example. I remember his first class there and I was helping him. And now he's blossomed into this amazing athlete, right? Everyone that goes there is an athlete in their own way. So it's been really cool to watch his journey. It's just one example of someone that's made some big changes by going to the gym.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if people wanted to see some different things that we do online, yes?
Yeah, we have a pretty big Instagram presence. We do a lot of fun things on there. So we make silly
yes.
videos, but we also try to show off what we're doing at the gym, show off our different classes. Our Instagram handle is Roanoke Island Fitness Lab. You can also check out our website, rifitnesslab.com. And you're welcome to just swing by anytime. We're happy to give you a tour of the gym. You can come try out a class, see if it's a good fit for you. But yeah.
So now they can message you on Instagram. They could message you. They could send you an email at alex@rifitnesslab.com. They can send you emails to get more information as well, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We're always looking for new people to join the community.
Excellent. Yes, absolutely. I can't disagree with that statement at all. So we're going to talk a little bit about some outdoorsy, fitnessy type things that you can do. Now, Alex, I know that you do a lot of these. You're running on a lot of different trails. I know that you did the Blackbeard 100, even though it didn't go all the way down to the ferry dock. You had to turn around, at Jeanette's Pier, right?
Yeah, I was on a relay team for the ultra marathon, the 100-mile ultra marathon. And yeah, we had to run from Corolla over the bridge and back instead of running all the way down south. But it was still, I would say, a good time. The weather wasn't great, but we made it. But we persevered through it.
Yeah, you did. You sure did. But what are some different, or where are some different places that you can go here on the Outer Banks if you're not trying to go to a gym exactly, you're not trying to spend that time inside of a facility like that, but you're wanting to do something active? Where are some places that you can go, or some places you can go to do that? Where's some places that you like?
Yeah, well, we're one of the most beautiful places in this country, in my opinion. So getting outside, I think when you're here is definitely worth doing. And there's plenty of places to do it. So I run in Manteo a lot. We have a really great trail all the way to the end of the island and back. I think is underutilized and people don't necessarily know it's there. And it's a great way to see Manteo. You can go all the way into Fort Raleigh, check out some of the historic sites. We have Festival Park. You can run through there. So Manteo specifically has a lot of great places you can run. In addition to that, a lot of people do different activities on the beach. So Shannon, who I talked about earlier, who was the trainer that brought me to R.I.F.L, she does beach boot camps that you can sign up for that tourists are more than welcome to drop in for a class. There's quite a lot of beach yoga. I used to teach that back in the day as well. Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of opportunities to get out on the beach and kind of experience it in a different way than just sitting and chilling, which is great too, right?
But absolutely.
If we're looking to exercise a little bit, there's great ways to do it. Nags Head Woods is another one. I don't think people always know that that's there, and it's a really cool resource for people that live here and tourists alike to kind of get. It almost feels like you're not on the Outer Banks a little bit, right? If you want a hill, there's no mountains, but if you want a hill, Nags Head Woods is the place to go. So a lot of people do trail running there too. So I think there's lesser known places on the beach and plenty of opportunities to get outside and be active while you're here.
Absolutely. What about like Jockey's Ridge? Would you consider, would you suggest a good run up Jockey's Ridge? Maybe a handful of runs up that? What do you think?
Yeah, sure. If you want to run up a sand dune, sounds like a great exercise to me. It's a super cool site. So why not get some exercise in while you're there? Right?
Well, I figure, there's some people that look forward to that extra, because running on the sand, there's nothing like beach running, like running on the sand. I'm not talking about running down by the water's edge or anything of that nature. I'm talking about actually running on the sand where it sinks under your feet as you're going, and especially running up the hill. I tried. I remember right before I left for the Army, when I was coming out of high school, I was like, you know what? I had a friend of mine that was in the Army at the time, and he's like, you need to go run on the sand. You live right next to the ocean. You need to go run on the sand because it's going to help you. And I went and tried it, and like a mile on the sand and a mile on your flat top pavement it's like two totally different animals.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I've watched people a lot of times if I'm on the beach road heading north or south, especially in the summer, I'll see people running on the bike path, which is fine. But if you're really wanting to get that extra cardio, maybe a little bit in your calves, in your quads, go run on the sand. Give that a shot.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more of that this summer. Right now, I run long distance on Saturday because I have the most time that day. So I'm hoping to get out to the beach early morning and see the sunrise and run. Harder, but worth it.
Yes. So other than running and doing some of those different activities, what are some other things that you could do on your own here on the Outer Banks, maybe that would benefit, that would be a different type of exercise for people?
Yeah, sure. So, surfing's a great example. We're right by the ocean. There's plenty of opportunities for surf lessons in the community. There's a lot of opportunities to go kayaking too. I mean, that's another active thing that you don't necessarily think about. Oh, we're going to the beach, but we have great access to the sounds here as well. So getting out and kayaking could be a great opportunity. All sorts of sup yoga. That's a huge thing now.
Oh my gosh, stand-up paddleboard yoga.
Yeah.
Wow. I did not know, I didn't even know that they did that. I know, about stand-up paddleboarding, but as far as yoga on a paddleboard, what?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a yoga paddleboard, but I would not say I am qualified to teach sup yoga. I can teach yoga on land and I can paddleboard, but combining the two, I don't think I could do. But
hold on.
It would be a great adventure.
Dude, you have a special paddleboard for this?
Yeah, it's wider and it has a mat, right? So
okay, because I was going to say, I'm trying to think about a paddleboard and how you could do yoga on it, but I'm like, it's Alex, and there's not much she can't do. So,
oh well, thanks.
I'm just saying, I was well, I guess it just takes a special type of athlete, and I'm not that athlete. So, okay, cool. Now, and talking about surfing, some people think about it as just kind of like laying on a board and just standing up. It's not quite that simple. No. Would you know a thing or two about it?
Yeah, so my dad is a local surfboard shaper, Tim Nolte. So I grew up.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up surfing quite a bit. So there's a lot to it, but I think for beginners, it can still be super fun, right? If you can get out there with an instructor, they have foam boards these days that are great to learn on. In fact, some of our friends just take those to the beach now because they're more fun, easy to get around.
Right.
I think there's a lot of opportunity to have fun, even though it takes years, just like anything, right? It takes years to get really good at. I think even beginners can have fun here in the summer. And the waves are smaller here in the summer, which makes it great for learning.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If you were to come here on vacation and you were like, you know what, I am going to do some exercising while I'm here, what would you do to stay active here on the Outer Banks?
Yeah, so I think personally, and I can attest to this on family vacations myself, I still like to get in the gym a couple of days. But on vacation, I'm not necessarily going to do that every day, right? So I might get up, go to the gym a couple times. Maybe I'll go for a run on the beach one day. And then maybe even the day I'm chilling with my family on the beach, maybe I try surfing that day and still try to get active. I think for people like me who really prioritize fitness, they're still looking for ways to stay active on vacation, but still engage with their family too and do the things that they came here to do, right? Hang out on the beach, chill. So I think you can work that gym time in. I think we have a lot of great facilities that you could get into while you're here, but also finding fun ways to stay active, maybe even with the kids and with the family as well. So for me, that would probably look like gym a couple days a week, run maybe once while I'm here, and then maybe get some surf sessions in as well. Very nice.
Now, you said something about other facilities. Now, of course, Roanoke Island Fitness Lab is the best, yeah, but there are other places depending on your location. Like if you're in Hatteras, for example, you're staying down on Hatteras Island down at, is it Frisco or Buxton? I always get confused as where to say their facility is, Fort Strength and Fitness.
Frisco.
Frisco.
Yep.
Okay, they're just into Frisco because I can never figure out where that line is between Buxton and Frisco. I
only know because they have super cool T-shirts that I have a couple of, and it says Frisco. Yeah,
I need some of those T-shirts. Every time I stop by there, it's like I can't seem to peg anyone down to get one. So you got Fort Strength and Fitness. There's also a facility down there in Avon called The Gym. And I'm trying to think. I'm not certain of any other facilities similar to those on Hatteras Island. Are you familiar?
If you go further south to Ocracoke, there's Angie's Gym there. They also have quite a few yoga studios or yoga opportunities in Ocracoke as well. So if you're staying down there, there's still places, even in a small village, to get your workout on. But as far as the other locations down south, I'm not familiar.
Well, if anybody's listening and they are familiar, email me, podcast@outerbanksthisweek.com, and let me know. That way we can show you some love too. But we do know that there are others on like the northern beaches. Heading north, you've got Momentum in Kitty Hawk. You've got the Outer Banks Sports Club right there in Nags Head. Oh, gosh, I'm going to forget somebody, and I know there's a lot of them up in Duck and Corolla up that way.
Outer Banks Fitness Collective's another one. There's a ton of yoga studios to check out. I used to teach at Outer Banks Yoga. There's OBX Hot Yoga, Kind Yoga. So we get people that come in to drop into a CrossFit gym, right? So I think dropping in is part of a CrossFit culture specifically because you want to check out different places, right? So We get people that drop into different gyms while they're here and check out different places and see where they vibe. So I think that's worth doing.
What's the drop-in rate for somebody at R.I.F.L, for example?
$20.
$20 to drop in on a class.
60 for the week.
60 for... That's a killer deal.
Yep.
Killer deal.
Yep.
60 for the week, $20 for a single drop-in. And we tend to have a few of those.
Yeah.
I'll see new faces at least once a week at 5:30. Now, 5:30 in the morning, we're
less.
We're a rare breed. Alex, I'll tell you this. Alex comes in at 5:30 in the morning, a lot less talkative than she is now. And I tend to be rared up. I've been up since 4 o'clock. I've drank my pre-workout. I'm ready to go. I'll be cranking some music, and I'm like, Alex, and she's like, no, just turn it down. Turn it down.
Not yet. I haven't had any coffee. I'm not as caffeinated as you.
Yeah, I'm not quite where I'm at, but it's fun because we're just a different breed at 5:30 in the morning. But I know that there's lots of them throughout the day, every day.
Yeah, we're gearing up for more drop-ins this summer. We're hoping to see more people from other communities come check us out, and we get to share different ideas, things they're doing at their gym. We have a competition this summer that is going to draw people from the region. So we're really hoping to build a regional presence, and people can come check us out and see what we're all about.
Is this the second annual Summer Slam? Is that what you're referring to?
Indeed.
Is that now? Let's talk. I want to talk about that real quick. Is that a partner workout?
It is.
Okay, I couldn't remember from last year because I did not get a chance to participate last year. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to this year either, but that's a partner workout. And what does it consist of a lot of times?
Yeah, so CrossFit competitions are super fun. I started competing about 2 years ago. So our competition is co-ed teams of 2.
Okay.
2 divisions, intermediate and scaled. And we're going to do 3 different tests over the course of the day. Different areas of CrossFit, right? We're testing your cardio, we're testing your gymnastics capability, we're testing your strength over different events, and then we'll have a final. But it's just a really cool opportunity for people to come together from other areas, like the Hampton Roads area, for example. Or last year we had people from Asheville and Wilmington. So we get to meet other people and come together and do what we love, which is fitness.
Are you going to have the vendors out there again?
Yeah, so Fresh Fit Cafe is going to be a vendor. So they're one of my favorite food choices in the Outer Banks. So they'll have lunch available for people to purchase.
Okay.
And then we also have Barbell, which is a clothing brand. They're out of Raleigh, and they combine CrossFit fitness with the martial arts. Really cool brand.
Okay, cool deal. Cool deal. You said something about Fresh Fit. Now, that was something else I was kind of wondering about. Now, people that are looking for healthier options of things to eat while here on vacation. Fresh Fit's somewhere where you like to go. Is that correct?
Yeah, I usually go. I would love to go once a week. I don't always make it every week, but sometimes after a Saturday workout, I just don't want to cook for myself.
No,
right?
of course not. Yeah.
So my friend Tunga owns Fresh Fit, and they're great. I can go in there and get something really similar to what I'd have at home, but just it's always a little bit better when someone else makes it.
Yes, that's right. That's what I tell my mom all the time. I'm like, Mom, I can make it too, but it always tastes better when you do it.
Yeah.
So
nutrition's been a huge part of my life, especially over the past 6 months. I've really dialed it in and seen some huge changes that I kind of wrote off as impossible. So it's important to me when I go out, I can still get those healthy options, and Fresh Fit definitely has that. I think, the community is in need of healthier options, and I think it can be tough when you're on vacation. I think one thing worth mentioning is we have a lot of great markets in the Outer Banks in the summer, and sometimes you can get fresh local produce or local eggs at those markets. The Sikatan market going towards Wanchese is one of them that I think is worth hitting up on a Saturday if you're here. But I recognize it can be tough to eat well, especially on vacation.
Oh, absolutely. Right? Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. I've gone on, I just came back from Atlanta, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? They had like a little mini gym inside the hotel we were staying. I was like, I'm going to hit that thing up one morning, and I'm going to try to just kind of keep it like a low carb, high protein breakfast, which I was able to do that part. But I went over to the gym and I was like, I'm really not feeling this right now. I did like a couple little things and I went on back up to my room, but it is definitely very difficult, especially when you're on vacation. You just want to be on vacation from everything. But that is one thing we don't need to be on vacation from for too long, I guess, if ever, is taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, right.
And trying to be healthier. Now, I could be a lot healthier than what I am. And I hate that I hate the fact that sometimes I justify something that I've eaten throughout the day because I was at the gym that morning. It's like, I was at the gym this morning. It's fine. You know, I got to try to get out of that mindset. That's like one of my own little mental crutches that I deal with, or my mental struggles that I deal with on a regular basis.
Well, I think it's important not to be too hard on yourself. I see fitness as an entire lifestyle, but I'm in a really fortunate position that it's also my career, right? So I go to the gym, I work, I teach classes, I do all our marketing and outreach, and I also get to train quite a bit. And I'm in a really fortunate position. And but taking the time to prepare your food, it can be hard. You know, you have a family, you have things going on, but it's worth prioritizing yourself so that you can continue to take care of those you love. That's what I always say. You got to take care of yourself first. And it can be tough in the moment, and it can be even tougher on vacation, but it's worth doing.
Absolutely, 100%. Well, Alex, did we leave anything out? I appreciate you coming in and hanging out with me today. I've really been looking forward to this. I had an email a few months ago about this topic, and I was like, I've got just the person, because we've been talking like for at least a month and a half or so about when you can get in here, and we had it set up for later on, and then I had somebody not able to be on the podcast. I was like, Alex, let's bump you up, and she was like, okay. So we made it work, and I'm really glad you're able to come in here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I think we covered everything. I'm really passionate about what I do, and I hope to see some new faces in the gym this summer. And yeah.
Okay. Well, and you can see everything at the gym. You can see it all on the Instagram. The handle again
is Roanoke Island Fitness Lab. My personal handle is Alexandra.Nolte. I post quite a bit of content too, so you can always reach out to me. If you're looking for things to do in the Outer Banks, I'd be happy to give suggestions as well.
There you go. Excellent stuff. And online at rifitnesslab.com. Thank you so much for coming in, and we'll be right back here in just a few moments.
Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village is the closest spot on the Outer Banks to the Gulf Stream. Just inside Hatteras Inlet, Teachers Lair is fully loaded with bait, tackle, ice, snacks, and drinks for your fun-filled day out on the water. Want to get rigged up to catch the big one? Lee and the gang in the tackle shop can outfit you to catch whatever is eager to get hooked. To see the marina, the tackle shop, or to book a charter, go online to teacheslair.com. Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village. Your fishing venture awaits.
All right, Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village, the closest ride to the Gulf Stream. Lee and the gang in the tackle shop. Man, Lee is my dude. Aaron, Lee, Victoria, the whole crew down there at Teachers Lair. Terry, man, they're fantastic people. I've been working with them in the media world for over 10 years now, and I love going down there to Teachers Lair and just hanging out with Lee in the tackle shop. He sees me coming, he's like, oh God. I'm like, yeah, it's me again, brother. Aaron, he's like, what are you doing, man? And like, I enjoy it down there at Teachers Lair Marina. So if you get a chance to head down to Teachers Lair right there before you get on the ferry, go down there and do it. I'm telling you, you will not regret going to Teachers Lair Marina. All right, let's take a look at some events going on around the area. As I always like to talk about in the beginning, make sure you're supporting your local high school athletics. There's a shout out that I need to give to the 1974 Manteo High School baseball team winning the state championship that year. They have been honored in the May 2nd, which would be tonight, the recording of this, or the date this podcast was recorded. They've been honored at Manteo High School for their accomplishment 50 years ago, winning that state tournament. So congratulations to them again. I believe they were given rings tonight. So that's awesome. That's super cool that they're getting that honor. So a little shout out to the 1974 Manteo High School baseball team for winning a state championship that year. And one of my favorite coaches actually played on that team. His name was Kenny Key. Love me some Kenny Key. He helped me get my swing back when I was 12 years old, and I'll never forget it. He really dug into me, and I appreciate him very much for that. So special shout out to Kenny Key. Of course, all right, so local trivia nights and live entertainment going on up and down the beach. Lost Colony Waterfront Beer Garden has trivia, Shipwrecks, Buffalo City Distillery, Sand Trap Tavern, Stripers, and New Vines. All places where there is trivia taking place. And again, all this stuff that I'm talking about right now can be found online at outerbanksthisweek.com. outerbanksthisweek.com. Click on the events tab, and that's where you'll find it. First Friday taking place May 3rd in downtown Manteo. I know the Dare Education Foundation is going to be out and about, walking around and talking to folks about how you can support Dare Education Foundation. They're going to have a tent right outside the Pioneer Theater that you can go to for more information as well. They got a silent auction going on. That's all going to be part of First Friday. I think the marching bands from First Flight and Mania will be there as well. So that's all going to be a lot of fun at First Friday on May 3rd. Cinco de Mayo celebrations, there's so many of them taking place up and down the beach. You can find them on our website under the events tab as well. There's going to be a tequila dinner. Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun, happening Monday, May 6th. Cafe Pamlico. More details about that online at inonpamlicosound.com. Hey, Cooper Greer's going to be jamming out at the Pioneer Theater on Thursday, May 9th, starting at about 7 o'clock. Kids Fest happening Friday, May 10th at Festival Park in Manteo. That's going to be starting at 9:30. Kids Fest is always a good time, put on by Children and Youth Partnership. Looking forward to going over and participating in that. Dare Arts, the very next day, is going to be having their annual Artrageous Kids Art Festival, Saturday, May 11th, from 10 to 3 at Dowdy Park. And this is a family-friendly event, and it is absolutely free to go. Sunday, May 12th, that's Mother's Day. Don't forget to put that on your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. Mother's Day. So many places are doing so many special things. Check out our website for places you can go to participate in, like Sunday brunches for Mother's Day. I know that Lone Cedar's doing one. I'm pretty sure that Cafe Pamlico is going to do something. Red Sky, all these different places. Go online and check that out. Stripers will do something. So that's Sunday, May 12th, and it's all on our website as well, OuterBanksThisWeek.com. The 29th annual Hatteras Village Offshore Open is happening Tuesday, May 14th through Saturday, May 18th. There's going to be lots of festivities surrounding that. So even though you may not be fishing, you can still go down to Hatteras Harbor or Teach's Lair. They're going to have boats out. I'm sure there are going to be things going on when the boats are coming in. Always a lot of fun. It makes me think about the Pirates Cove tournament that happens in August and how much fun there is with things going on there. So something to think about if you're down around Hatteras Village on or that week of the 14th through the 18th, Tuesday through Saturday. There's going to be lots of festivities surrounding the Hatteras Village Offshore Open. Kitty Hawk Kites, they're having their 52nd annual hang gliding spectacular at Jockey's Ridge in Nags Head. That's going to be going on Thursday, May 16th through Sunday, May 19th. All the details are on our website, and it's at Jockey's Ridge, part of Kitty Hawk Kites. One thing that I thought was really cool is our chief content manager. His name's Paul. Paul's actually coming into town. He doesn't live here. He's coming into town for this because he used to be like a professional hang glider. I did not know this. I learned this the other day, so I want to see Paul win this contest because I think he said that he's flying on Friday or something. I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to Paul being here. I love Paul, super great guy, and he's going to be participating in the hang gliding spectacular at Jockey's Ridge. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him, and I hope he does well. So Paul, a little shout out to you, my friend. Oh gosh, before we jump into wrapping this thing up, just know that dirty water sucks. It really does, but you can get your dirty water undirty with High Seas Pools and Spas.
At High Seas Pools and Spas, we believe dirty water sucks. We are a licensed and insured certified pool and spa maintenance and repair company servicing Duck to Mania. We offer seasonal and year-round pool and spa services with a special focus on flex rentals like Airbnb and VRBO. Need a new hot tub? We can do that too. Visit us online at highseasobx.com for more information. High Seas Pools and Spas, because dirty water sucks.
Yes, highseasobx.com is where you can find them online. Chelsea and Brad, fantastic folks over there at High Seas Pools and Spas. And remember, they can help you out because dirty water sucks. All right, I don't think I forgot anything. I want to thank Alex for coming in one more time. Wealth of knowledge in the fitness world here on the Outer Banks. Super special individual. Love her very much. And if you have any questions, I'm sure you can reach out to her, Alex at R.I.F.Fitnesslab.com, and she can answer any questions you may have regarding the lab or regarding healthy activities and things you can participate in here on the Outer Banks while you're on vacation. So I want to thank her for coming in. Next week, I have a special guest. She is a local bartender. I don't know if I want to say her name just yet, but she has been voted best of the beach, best bartender here on the Outer Banks a few times, and I look forward. She's a super fun person, super nice, but she has some do's and don'ts that she wants to go over with those that like to go to the bars here on the Outer Banks. And I think she can speak for all the bartenders here on the Outer Banks. Very, very wonderful person. I think she's absolutely hilarious. I enjoy every time I go to see her at her place of employment. It's always a fun time. I sit there, I eat lunch, and I talk to her, and she's absolutely hilarious. She's coming in, and she's going to have a sidekick with her by the name of Tiffany. Now, you may remember Tiffany from Beach Realty and Construction, property management coordinator there. Yeah, she's going to be coming in to talk a little bit with us as well. Those two, they're friends, and I really look forward to this podcast coming up because it's just, I can only imagine what's going to be said. When I brought this idea up to this bartender and Tiffany, they immediately kind of started planning. I know that the bartender, she was like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, just don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. And I guess she's already planned out everything she's going to say. Just don't ask her for ranch dressing. Okay. Outer Banks This Week podcast, wrapping up episode number 62, all brought to you by Kelly's Automotive in Manteo. If it has doors, it can be yours at Kelly's Automotive. Visit them online at kellysobxauto.com. I am out of here. Looking forward to having my bartender friend and Tiffany from Beach Realty coming in next week. Cannot wait. So in the words of the late, great Freestyle Bob, later.
This has been another epic edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Follow us on social media and be sure to listen every Thursday for a new episode.